let's get into 2025 and talk about some games we're looking forward to this year. I guess I was going to say next year, but it's 2025 now.
This is it.
This is it. I feel like I just gotta say it right now because we're all thinking it and everyone's just waiting for me to say it. But Death Stranding 2, didn't they say supposed to be 2025?
Well,
we'll see.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I was gonna say, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We don't know for sure.
We don't know for sure.
Kojima is working on 80 things at the same time.
That's true. That's true.
Anything can slip. He may intend for it to come out.
Yeah, I saw like a tweet he put out, kind of like a year-end like recap tweet. Did you see that? Where he's kind of like, he's working on the Death Stranding movie, and he's working on OD, and he's working on, apparently, even though he said he's when they first announced it, he's like, oh, we're not going to work on Fizzant until Death Stranding 2 and OD are done. Like, we're going to wait until...
No, you have to do something on Fizzant. You have to have something to show the stockholders.
But
you're gonna do something on Fizzant.
He's working on stuff. Even though he said he wasn't going to, he's like, in this tweet, he's like, yeah, we've been working on this and working on that. He's like, he had so much stuff they're working on, which is insane. Although a lot of that's on hold because of the actors strike, the SAG-AFTRA strike, which I didn't realize that was still going on. I knew, like, because I thought, didn't they work out a deal, or is this a new one that came up?
I think this is a separate one, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I missed that somehow. But yeah, when I read all that, I'm like, oh no, please don't delay Death Stranding 2, please. But man, I'm so stoked.
Yeah, think about the workers, think about the actors. If it's for their benefit, it's fine.
No, I agree, but it's, I don't know. I just feel like with Death Stranding, I remember us getting a lot more marketing. There's a lot more trailers beforehand. And with Death Stranding is coming out this year, we just haven't gotten much of anything, which has me kind of worried. Like the fact that we haven't gotten, because like by the time Death Stranding came out, we had a handful of trailers to like everyone was like pouring over. I remember on the show, on our podcast, like me coming in with a notebook, like, all right, here's all the crazy stuff I found. I wonder what it means.
Here's the frame by frame for today.
Exactly. I was going literally frame by frame in these trailers, like finding like hidden things in there, and people all over were and had all these crazy theories. And Death Stranding 2, we've gotten like one trailer, and then he showed off like the photo mode.
A new cut.
He showed off like the photo mode basically. It's just like, oh, okay. Like we need more trailers.
Which honestly was pretty cool, right? Like
it was cool.
He kind of made it like it's an actual photo shoot. Like they just kind of stand around and like almost doing like idle poses.
Yeah.
Like they would at a shoot waiting for you to take the next picture.
Right.
I thought that was pretty sweet.
No, it's cool, but I don't know. I'm just so stoked about the story. I'm like, give me some more weird story trailers that aren't going to make any sense until we play the game. Totally give me some out of context just moments in this game so we can just entice us, get us all excited for it. But so we're not getting it. He's holding out on us, and I don't like it. Don't like it one bit.
When was it originally slated for, or do we just have like 2025?
I think it just said 2025. It's just a year. There is no like time window. It's just 2025. Which the first one came out in November. So this one can come out around the similar time, or if there's trouble, then it could conveniently get pushed into next year pretty easily, if it's in that time slot. So we'll see. Adrian, what about you though? What's a big game 2025 you are excited for, other than Donkey Kong Country Returns HD? I know you're just champing at the bit for that one.
Yeah, I'm ready to play that one for the third time. A big one for me, I think, is probably still South of Midnight.
Oh, is that's
slated to come out this week?
2025
or this year? I believe so.
Oh, dude, yeah, that game looks sick.
That game has looked good from the trailer, the initial trailer, to the preview that they had at the Xbox event where they showed the gameplay. The gameplay looked interesting. Yeah, I'm loving everything about that game from the top to the bottom. And I really want to just play it. I wish they would put out some kind of a demo or something, so that we can get a taste of it.
My only fear with this game is I've loved everything they've put out, like the trailers and the gameplay and stuff like that. I thought it all looked incredible. But I remember when the gameplay one came out, there's a lot of hate on the internet about the way it looked. Like, oh, I couldn't imagine playing a whole game like that, like playing it, the weird frame rate, because basically it's animated similar to it's animated similar to kind of like a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse kind of thing. And people are like, oh, basically you're just playing a game at like 15 frames per second. That sounds horrible, But it's only your character that has that frame rate. The world around you is 60. Exactly. So like for me, like I'm stoked. I think it looks gorgeous. Like I think it's going to be it's definitely interesting artistically, and it can bring in some cool gameplay stuff. But my fear is like with all like the hate that popped up on the internet, like we haven't gotten an update in a while. So I'm like, oh, I hope they don't like change stuff just because of all the internet hate, like then it's like, oh wait, this isn't what we wanted. This isn't what they was originally announced. I mean, it's what the haters wanted, but so I just hope they don't cave. That's my biggest thing. I hope it comes out
Compulsion exactly doesn't seem like that kind of studio.
Exactly what they want. I don't want them to give in. Like, no, make the game you want to make, because so far it's looking sick.
Yep. But that's the game I want to play, is the game that you're advertising right now. If you change it, I would be very disappointed. Especially if it's if you change it for artistic vision, if you're like, hey, we thought we had something, but it wasn't working out. Okay. Happens all the time. What's your new thing about, right? What's your new take on it? But if you're changing it because you're worried about what some, I don't know, just troll groups or weirdos are saying about it, that would be really disappointing.
Yeah.
But like I said, Compulsion doesn't seem like the kind of team that would concern themselves with something like that. So let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah. Boom. All right. Death Stranding 2, South of Midnight.
I almost feel like I have to pull up a little calendar of what's coming out this year, major.
Yeah, I actually was just bringing one up here as well. But, I mean, we're getting Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yep.
That's soon, isn't it? Like February or something? Yeah, February 28th.
I was gonna say March, I think.
February 28th.
There we go.
That is.
And I will be there. I will be there for it.
Coming soon.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
And you'll be there too.
Yes. Unless I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, which comes out a couple weeks before, 14th.
Oh, that's right.
The game also looks sick. I know people are...
Another game that caused quote-unquote discourse.
So bonkers crazy. Yeah, I hope it's a good Assassin's Creed, because I know like Mirage came out and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. It was just kind of like, it was just kind of like fine. Like, okay, it's better than what's been coming out, but still not great. So I'm like, I hope they can nail it with Shadows. That'd be so sick. But I don't know. I'm afraid it's just gonna get like review bombed just because of the controversy it's already had. People are just gonna come out and be like, it's, whatever. I'm a dummy and I'm gonna give this game a bad score.
Real samurai. Even though the Japanese historians were like, actually, dude was right here in the book. We have it right here in our country. That he came to. Yeah. That he was in. That we would know that guy. Yeah. No, he was here.
Yeah, he's in the history books. We got him.
He's in the history books, actually.
Man. Oh, Avowed comes out on the 18th, right? And
that's right.
I am at this point. I'm not.
Are you worried?
I'm not. This is gonna sound terrible. I am not excited at all about Avowed.
Really? Not in the slightest?
I'm not, or I shouldn't say not excited, but like nothing about it is enticing to me.
Wow.
But
Didn't you like New Vegas though?
I love New Vegas.
Did you play
I think that's the thing. I love New Vegas. fantastic game.
Uh-huh.
But it's the fantasy setting I think throws me off a little bit. Because like Elder Scrolls I've never been into. And
also nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else has Obsidian made.
Outer Wilds. They made that.
Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds. I know got great.
Outer Worlds.
Got great scores. Like got 9 out of 10 on GameSpot here. But I just never. I don't know if I ever even gave that one a chance. But that one like didn't strike me as like super exciting either. So it's like I don't know. Something about their New Vegas was great, but there are other things they've made. There's just kind of like, like I don't know. It's never been super exciting to me. So it's just hard. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. But this one being fantasy has kind of thrown me off too, because that's not really my thing. But I don't know. I need to sit down. I need to sit down and maybe watch some trailers, because I feel like didn't they come out with like a gameplay trailer a couple months ago? I think I missed it. I don't think I actually watched that. I heard about it and didn't watch it. So maybe I need to like do a deep dive and kind of do some more research on that. But I don't know. We'll see.
I think that would benefit.
We got a question from Soak7 Plays in the chat. They ask, do you guys think we'll get Metroid Prime 4 this year?
Yeah, it's going to be a Switch 2 launch title.
Do you think so? Because the last we heard about it was coming out in 2024, and it just quietly got delayed. Like they didn't even announce they delayed it. They just like it just never came out. So
let me give you two scenarios. One, it's a launch title for Switch 2 and a cross-gen title for Switch 1. Or two, it's not it's a cross-gen title. Mm-hmm. But it's going to come within the launch. Do I want to say window or year? I'm going to say launch year.
Okay.
For Switch 2. And it'll still be a cross-gen title. It'll be like one of the last hurrahs for the original Switch. And it'll be one of the titles where you can clearly see the difference between Switch 1 and Switch 2.
Okay. I could see that. Yeah. It being like, you know, doing the Digital Foundry doing the side-by-side. It's like how it's like absolutely superior in every way, like frame rate and, you know, crispness, like resolution, all this stuff.
Things, objects on screen, all of that.
Yeah, I can see that. Soak7 says, yeah, Twilight Princess cross-gen route sounds super plausible. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Twilight Princess. Imagine a Twilight Princess remake on Switch 2.
That's one I played a little bit of because my friend had it on Wii. We never owned it, but my friend did. I remember enjoying what I played. It was a good time.
Do I need to ship you my game? No, you have a Wii.
I have a Wii. I do have a Wii. I think it's on there. I just haven't given it a chance again.
Get your Wii. Get the GameCube version on your Wii. Don't play the Wii version.
Oh, really? GameCube version over Wii version?
GameCube version is where it's at. That's when it was originally a GameCube game, and they just stuffed motion controls on it.
Okay. Well, in that case, I don't even need to pull out my GameCube. I'll just play it on my Steam Deck. There we go. Because I got the
you could.
Got the emulator on there. Did you know Deltarune chapters 3 and 4 coming out next year? Apparently. Did you play chapters 1 and 2?
Next year, as in this year?
Or yeah, this year. Yeah, 2025.
No, I didn't know that. I've been waiting forever for 3 and 4.
That's what this GameSpot article says. It doesn't have it just says 2025. It doesn't have a date, but
that's fine. As long as we have this year, I'll be okay. 1 and 2 were so good.
How do you feel about Doom: The Dark Ages?
I think it's gonna rip. I think it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Did you see the gun? Did you see the gun that uses crushed up enemy skulls as ammo?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Do you understand how metal that is?
I know that
is so awesome.
Like the other, I love how like Doom 1 or Doom and then Doom Eternal, like oh man, like these games are so metal, like so crazy, so rock and roll, so just like violent, over the top, just blowing everything up, you know. And then I love how like this new Doom, whatever it's called, Doom, the Dark Ages, the trailer is just kind of like hold my beer. Like this is cranked up to 11.
Quite literally.
Like everything is cranked to 11. Like this is insane. It's just like,
hey, you know how cool the Doom guy is? What if we put him in a giant mech of his own suit and made him fight giant demons?
What if?
Come on.
What if?
Let's do this.
What if the Doom guy is like 100 times cooler and the weapons are 100 times more crazy and the games is 100 times more violent and gory and brutal and just like, okay,
let's take it to the max. You thought it was at 11 already. Now we're taking it up to 12. Have fun.
I'm not super like stoked. This is another one. I'm like, I could care less. But I didn't love the Doom or Doom Eternal. Like they were fine. Really? They were fine games, but I was kind of like, I don't know. They didn't strike my fancy at all. So this is one I'm not super excited about. It looks sick. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, right. I'm not even going to spend money on it because I know I'm probably never going to play it, kind of thing.
Also, yeah, you know how the Doom games get, where like after a while they'll be, you can get them for a song pretty much. Mm-hmm. No, this one looks very promising. It's id, so I'm not surprised. They make nothing but bangers always. Well, I mean, I guess you can argue for Rage, but yeah, I know it's gonna be rock solid as far as performance, and they love tweak. That's like that's their thing. If you want a game that runs like butter, you go see id.
Yep.
Which is why I don't know why Xbox for their shooters is not going to see id when they own id. What are you doing? You have the kings of FPS performance right there, and you don't use them.
Yeah.
But no. Doom looks awesome. I can't wait for it. I think it's gonna be a great game, just like the other two, in my opinion. So, and honestly, I hope this is the last one because I want it to be a nice trilogy. You can put them all in a box together and be like, this is this era's Doom trilogy.
Yep.
Now we have original Doom 1, 2, and 3, and now we have this Doom 1, 2, and 3. Be a nice end cap. You don't want to overstay your welcome. I think this is a good finale in the series. In this iteration of Doom.
Yeah, I feel that I could see that, them kind of like end capping it for a while. Be like, all right, we're not going to get another one for a while now. Kind of
right.
either until we
wants to work on something else.
Either until we pass the torch or kind of revamp it again down the road. Whatever that looks like. I'm scrolling through this list. Fable apparently is 2025.
I doubt that highly. I doubt that very highly.
Yeah.
I do not see that game coming out in 2025.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, it's game's already been like, rumored for years, right? It's almost like every year they're kind of like Fable, maybe Fable, like so.
Fable, possibly. Fable?
Although, like, is there a reason? Like, did they announce it could come out in 2025? Like, is that something that I'm just forgetting? Like, it was in a trailer or no?
I don't remember seeing 2025 in the trailer, but also I just don't believe that it's gonna come out.
Okay, so as of June
2025,
as of June 2024, Playground Games says Fable 4 has been given a ballpark release window of 2025. A ballpark release window of an entire year means it's probably not coming out that year.
That's exactly what that means.
That's a lot of wiggle room there. That's wild. That's funny. Yeah, Fable's one of those. Even though it's
Gary, don't tell me you hate Fable.
What I was gonna say.
Nobody hates Fable.
What I was gonna say is I've never played a Fable game.
Okay, that's better than saying I hate Fable because nobody hates Fable.
I've never played a Fable game. And generally, as I was just talking about earlier, I'm not a fantasy RPG person, but from everything I've seen of this franchise, from previous games and trailers from this game, I'm like, all right, now this could possibly be up my alley. Like the humor being thrown in there kind of is winning me over, honestly, which is funny because usually like I'm not necessarily looking for humorous video games in that way. But this, for some reason with that, I'm like, oh, okay, I could get behind that for whatever reason.
Right.
So
now I will tell you that that's like a hallmark of the Fable series. Is it's funny too.
I know.
I know. A good RPG.
I know. I've heard that. I've seen it. Like I've seen like people play it, like videos online. I'm just like, I don't know why I've never played this series, but maybe this will be the year. If it actually comes out this year, maybe I'll try it.
Which again, I don't think it will, but
yeah, it'd be a miracle, honestly. Ghost of Yate? I feel like I'm saying that wrong.
Is that this year?
It's supposedly 2025, at least on this list. Let me double check that. I need to finish Ghost of Tsushima first. I put a good chunk of time into that one and never finished it. That's one of my shelved games that I got good ways into and enjoyed and never finished. Yeah, according to PlayStation blog, granted you can't believe everything they say either. They also said Abandon was coming out like 4 years ago, never did. That game doesn't even exist anymore. That game doesn't even exist anymore. They also said Metal Gear Solid Delta was coming out last year. That didn't come out.
Oops.
But yeah, it says coming in 2025. PlayStation blog. Sucker Punch's latest adventure. But yeah, this game, they haven't showed a ton, but what they've shown, I'm like, okay, I'm in. Like Ghost of Tsushima was amazing. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. This looks like a new area, like a new region of Japan, featuring a character voiced by Eriki Ishii. I'm down. All this says, like, this is all good. There's nothing bad about this and it's Sucker Punch.
It's up my alley.
Sucker Punch is phenomenal. So, if you have anything you want to play, just spit it out there. I just know you were kind of struggling to come up with stuff before, but if you were thinking anything before I say it, go ahead and throw it out there.
No, I'm so far you've been on the list.
Little Nightmares 3.
See, this is where we needed JJ to just start popping off right now.
I mean, honestly, I'm stoked for Little Nightmares 3 as well.
I think I texted him when that announcement came out, and I was like, dude, are you sitting down?
Oh, man. That game, I mean, those games are phenomenal. Like, those were such a fun time to do those for book club a few months, I guess a couple years ago. That was as crazy as that long ago. Fantastic games. So 3 I'm really excited about. But you know what I'm really like even more excited for is the other one. So because Little Nightmares 3 is being made by a new studio, or not a new studio. It's the same studio that did 2.
A new team. A different team.
Little Nightmares, well, let me see. Little Nightmares.
The original Little Nightmares team is working on something else.
Let me double check. Okay, you're right. So yeah, Little Nightmares 3 is being made by Supermassive Games. That's the people who made Until Dawn, stuff like that. Yeah, Until Dawn, Dark Pictures Anthology, all that stuff.
Universe.
So Little Nightmares 3 must be the IP was sold to Bandai Namco. They now own it. But the original studio that did Little Nightmares 1 and 2 is making a new game called Reanimal. And remember that when they announced that? And it's basically like gameplay wise, it's like, oh, this looks like just Little Nightmares, but it's upcoming survival horror video game, but it's like actually scary. Like Little Nightmares is like creepy and weird. Reanimal is supposed
Little Nightmares got scary at times.
It got scary at times. Yeah, you're right. It got scary at times. But Reanimal is, from everything I've seen from the marketing and like interviews and stuff like that, like, no, this is supposed to be like actually scary. Like they're going on, like this isn't like Little Nightmares you could get by with like maybe like playing with like older kids. Like Reanimal is like, no, we're just going full horror. Like this is gonna be,
bring it on.
I'm like, okay,
bring it on.
I'm in. Using Unreal Engine 5, it's gonna be absolutely terrifying. But yeah, developed by
I'll see you there.
Developed by Tarsier Studios, published by THQ Nordic. But as far as I know, there's no date on that at all, which is a bummer.
That's fine. It'll be here when
it's supposed to be co-op too. That's kind of cool. So Reanimal is a co-op horror adventure game. Play as a brother and sister. So you go through hell to rescue.
If it was 3 people, you know who we got to get.
Yeah, right.
You know who we got to get.
You go through hell to rescue their missing friends. Wild. But yeah, Little Nightmares 3. Of course, we're excited for that. Metro Prime 4 Beyond is on this list. We already talked about that. Monster Hunter Wilds. Already talked about that.
Talked about that one.
NASCAR 25. You ready for that new NASCAR game? I'm kidding.
Yeehaw, brother.
Woo!
I'm ready to turn to the left sometime.
Boogity, 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 boys.
Here we go.
Pokemon Legends ZA.
ZA
is supposedly.
Yeah, we have no idea what this is, except it's supposed to be like related to Gen 6, which is like X and Y.
Well, so I assume it's going to be.
All we know is because it takes place in Kalos.
I assume it's going to be similar gameplay to Arceus, because that was Pokemon Legends Arceus. This is Pokemon Legends ZA. So yeah, we know the region. The gameplay is probably going to be similar to that, which I'm down for because Arceus was amazing. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to me. We don't have a date on that, but it does say 2025. I just Googled it.
That's so interesting that they're doing a Zygarde game. I didn't think he was that kind of a legendary, I didn't think it was that kind of a legendary worthy of like a game being made about it, but here we are. So
yeah. What's fun for me with these games is like these are all gens that I didn't play when they came out because I didn't have a DS or 3DS or anything like that. So like even Arceus, I was kind of like, I don't know what's going on here. There's so many Pokemon. I mean, there's a lot of Pokemon new in there, which is nice, but there's also a lot of ones I'm like, oh, these are all new to me. I've never seen these guys. What's going on here? And I'm excited with this one because it's probably going to be a lot of the same of that, more of that as well, where it's like, I don't know who these people are, but I don't know. It's kind of a cool introduction to them. Like, yeah, it's not them playing the mainline game, but it's in like these little, I just love the gameplay. Like Arceus was so fun. Legends Arceus was so cool. That I hope they keep a lot of that type of gameplay in this, where it's like,
I'm just wondering how they're going to do it in the city like that. But I mean, I guess that's not my job to design. So
I mean, it might be like you're in the city at certain times, but then you go out into the wilds to just like in Legend Arceus, like you go back to town, do your thing. It's all open world. Go in any of the houses, just like explore everything. But then head out into the forest or whatever. Go catch some Pokemon. That's gonna be fall game for sure, right? On the Switch 2. It says Switch, but that's a Switch 2 game, right?
It's a Switch 2 game. Well, it's a Switch 2. It's a cross-gen game. I won't say it's a Switch game or a Switch 2 game. There's too many Switches to not make that a cross-gen game. And Game Freak, I'll say executive staff and shareholders are so greedy that there's no way that they wouldn't let it be just a Switch 2 game. Nintendo would have to foot the bill themselves in order for it to be a Switch 2 game, and for them to so whatever revenue they would have lost, that Game Freak would have lost letting Pokemon ZA be a cross-gen title, they would have had to probably pay out, because Game Freak is like, no, we're not taking a loss on this one. Now, the only thing I would think of is maybe this is a cross-gen title, but the next full-on Gen 10 Pokemon, that's definitely going to be a Switch 2 exclusive, because that is going to move so many units.
Totally.
If it's only on Switch 2. If I'm Nintendo and they're like, and we tell you, hey, can we only put this on Switch 2? And Game Freak is like, yeah, but you're going to have to make up the cost. I'm writing a blank check, because I know for a fact that game is going to go crazy on Switch 2.
I mean, that's been the track record for the entire franchise as well. Like, they've never released a mainline game on multiple like consoles like that, like cross-gen. So if they did do cross-gen, that would be a first for them, and I don't think they would. Like, I think that's with mainline games.
You would say that, but then there are also 150 million Switches out there. So, pros, cons, weigh your options.
Yeah, that's true. But the reason there's 150 million Switches out there is because of games coming out on Switch and sticking to Switch, like it's,
right.
Which I know a lot of the Switch games are supposed to be compatible with Switch 2 and whatnot, but Nintendo's usually pretty good about when there's a new generation, we're sticking with a new generation.
We're cutting you off, kid.
They're not like PlayStation who says it and then doesn't actually do it, Nintendo actually does it. They're just like, man, we're done. And the eShop's probably
quite literally.
And the eShop's going to be shut down.
I was going to say, and eShop closed.
Yeah, eShop closed within 3 years. 5 if you're lucky. Yeah, but all right. Well, that's the end of my list. I don't see anything else that, obviously these are mostly big game titles. There's probably a ton of indies that we're missing out on, but we will definitely be talking about them later on. Like as they come out this year, that's what we do. Just watch our show.
100%.
We'll talk more about these games. Those are just some of the big titles that we're looking forward to in 2025. Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the whole episode, the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.